Before Netflix marathons, before holiday movies on TV, families gathered around the radio. It was the hearth of the nation. On snowy nights in the 1930s and 40s, a warm crackle of static, a rising orchestra, and a familiar announcer's voice carried Christmas into every living room. They didn't just hear stories, they imagined them. The radio era takes center stage. 1930s, 1950s. 1930s to the 1950s are remembered as the golden age of radio, and during December, it was Christmas Central. Radios were massive wooden cabinets, glowing dials like a fireplace. Families pulled up chairs, children curled on rugs. Radio became the nation's hearth, binding together people through Depression years and wartime winters. Unlike television later, the power was in the imagination. Soundscapes of sleigh bells, crackling fires. Bustling department stores came alive in the mind. This was not just entertainment, it was a shared ritual. Christmas Eve was a broadcast as sacred as midnight mass. The big shows of Christmas. Past the Jack Benny Show poked fun at holiday shopping madness. With Benny's penny-pinching jokes, a mirror for the nation's own budgeting. Fibber, McGee, and Molly leaned on slapstick. Fibber's overstuffed closet became a holiday gag. Orson Welles, still famous for War of the Worlds, lent his voice to rich, dramatic readings of A Christmas Carol. His deep tones made Scrooge terrifying. Then tender, even Bing Crosby crooned White Christmas, first on the radio before it became the world's best-selling single. These weren't just shows, they were events. Families planned evenings around them. Radio's hidden role. The birth of the jingle hears. The twist most people don't know. Radio ads created the Christmas. SOUNDSCAPE. Brands like General Electric and Lucky Strike filled the air with catchy jingles. First Christmas radio jingles paved the way for holiday standards, light-hearted tunes with bells, choirs, and warmth. Without those ad breaks, we might never have had the holiday commercial soundtrack that now dominates malls and streaming playlists. Commercialism was stitched into the sound of Christmas, but so was comfort, imagination as cinema unlike film or television. Christmas radio shows relied on the theater of the mind. A creak of a door became Santa's arrival. A whip-crack of wind meant a storm outside. Children gasped. Grown-ups leaned in. Whole snowy worlds lived inside a wooden radio box. Sound effects men used bells, doors, even shoes on gravel to paint winter landscapes without film reels. This is why nostalgia for radio runs so deep. It was as much participation as performance. Stickers, ephemera, and collectibles now. Here's a forgotten gem. Some radio networks gave listeners collectibles at Christmas. NBC and CBS sent promotional Christmas cards, illustrated with microphones and jingles. Some children's shows distributed sticker books during the holidays, with stars, angels, and Santa to follow along. At home. Radio magazines printed cutout, coupons, and decorative logos, tiny ephemera that today would be prized scrapbook treasures. Imagine peeling a little. 1940s, Jack Benny Christmas Special. Sticker and placing it next to the family radio dial. The transition from radio to TV, 1950s. By the 1950s, the glow of the radio dial began to dim. Television was rising. Families now watched Bing Crosby or Jackie Gleason. Instead of imagining them. The intimacy of sound gave way to spectacle. Christmas specials migrated from voices to visuals. But the traditions were born in radio. The jingles lived on. The sound effects carried into TV. And the warmth of gatherings stayed, just around a different box. They didn't need CGI. They didn't need million-dollar sets. All they needed was a voice, a chime, and the sound of bells in your heart. The golden age of Christmas radio wasn't just about sound. It was about imagination, family, and shared memory. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real magic we've lost.